John Kavakis here with another edition of My Take. And today we're going to be taking a look at Brooklyn's brand new Lansdowne 1980 Austin Mini Metro 1.0 liter. Now let me tell you a little bit about where this car came from, because it came right out of the Mini, which was a huge success story for British Leyland back in the 80s. Sold under the Austin, under the Morris nameplates, but it did really well, did exactly what British Leyland wanted it to do, established a solid customer base, reliable car that was small, great for the cities. But by the late 60s, it was getting a little long in the tooth. And in the early 70s, the city car, the super mini market started to heat up. Now these were very small cars, ideally suited for the city, maybe not so much for like the highways and the byways in the United States, but great for city travel. They were economical, they were roomy, they were easy to maintain, and cars like the Fiat 127, the VW Polo, the Renault 5, the Ford Fiesta, they were all doing and selling quite well. So a new design for the Mini was desperately needed, but British Leyland didn't have a whole lot of money on hand. So they started working on several designs. One of the proposals that came up with was called the AD074. There's just nomenclature to denote the project they were working on. An ambitious total redesign with a new engine, new chassis, new bodies, the whole thing. But British Leyland was going to have to come up with $130 million to make this work in $1970, early $70. And they just didn't have the funds, so they had to wait. A little while later, they came up with the AD088 further on down the road. That car would eventually become the new Austin Mini. But it didn't reach the market until 1980. Now that Mini had an all-new body, but it had a reworked engine, reworked chassis. But British Leyland did a really nice job of re-engineering nearly everything on the car and coming out with something that was very modern and very well put together. One of the big advantages it had was it had an incredible amount of room inside for its size, but it had some upmarket features. There was a symmetric dashboard where the controls could be configured for left-hand drive or for right-hand drive. It had a 60-40 split rear seat, and all these were a little bit upmarket, gave the Mini a little bit of a foothold in the market, and actually it did quite well. And that's the model that Brooklyn has chosen to model for the next Lansdowne release. Now, Brooklyn's doing some amazing stuff with these Lansdowne, and I'm eager to show this to you. But there's an incredible amount of detail work. We remember the Lansdownes from years past, the earlier Brooklyns, little chunky, lacking detail, paint thick, that sort of thing. Well, when you see the detail on this, I think you're going to be surprised, especially at the price point. Now, they're issuing it in 3 different colors. The first color is Snapdragon Yellow. They're making Vermilion Red. And they're doing Applejack Green. Now, these are all sold out, but I'm showing these to you because there are more colors coming. So you're going to want to get your pre-orders in. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. Let's get these models on the turntable and take a look at them. Once again, I think you're going to be amazed at what you see. Here's all 3 colors. You can see the colors just pop, and the extra detail makes them even more spectacular. With the colors they've chosen, the detail that's available on them, these models just come alive. I want you to look at the detail here, the window surrounds, the trim that's blacked out, the replica of the wheels, so accurate. Even the side marker lights are picked out. Got realistic lensing, realistic badging. Even the exhaust looks realistic, hanging off the bottom. It's super accurate. As with other fine replicas, it's the details that really make it stand out. The wipers are to scale, the window trim is to scale, the mirrors are to scale, accurately reproduced, the door handles look really good. It's a fine, fine miniature, and at a price point that we haven't seen before in white metal. So I think Brooklyn's done something really amazing here. There was demand for the Lansdownes to come back. Here they are. They've come back. They've come back strong. They're giving us cars that we would have seen every day on the streets, cars we can relate to. And they've done it at a price point that I think is absolutely incredible. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But take a look at these models. These are really nice, well done white metal models. Even the interiors are well laid out, well detailed. At this price point, this is unusual. Look how nice that dash is with legible gauges. The door panels are picked out nicely. Things you wouldn't normally notice at this price point. They look really good. Now, you see the detail on it. A handmade white metal model. We know the extremely limited numbers and everything. We know how much effort goes into making a handmade white metal model. I mean, you know, the resin makers do a great job of putting their resin models together at a great price point, but there's nothing quite on the market like white metal models, and Brooklyn is the king of white metal models right now. So there's a lot of detail in there, and this thing is selling for 120 pounds. It's somewhere around $145, $147 in US dollars today, and that is an incredible value. If you do all of the adjustments for inflation and price changes and all that sort of thing, they're actually selling for cheaper than they did back in the day. This is an incredible buy for something unique in your collection. So there are more colors coming. These are sold out. You know, I've talked to you before about doing pre-orders on Brooklyn. It's vitally important. If you want to have the new models, you got to get your pre-order in right away. Those people that are waiting are finding that there's nothing left over by the time the issue date comes. So keep an eye on brooklynmodels.com. When they put the new colors up, you'll be able to get your pre-order in. Then you'll be one of those that has it in your collection while other people are waiting. But there's some other neat things coming as well. They're doing a mini metro van. Now, we would call this a panel wagon here in the United States. This is a little bit of a throwback because Lansdowne had a mini van, mini van, with a Lansdowne logo on the side. These are going to be updated versions of that. There's a little bit of an homage to what was before in modern detail with modern features on it. So it's going to have the Lansdowne logo on the side. You're going to want to have this. Again, very limited quantities. Got to get your pre-order in. Watch brooklynmodels.com. While you're there, there are a few models left over. They just issued the Montego in 2 new colors with a higher level of detail. Those are available. There's a couple of Estates available. There's still a brown Montego sedan available. So take a look in through there. And if you missed them on the first time, you might be able to get one on this second go round. Brooklyn's doing an amazing job. Now, I do have to caution you. I just received this shipment from Brooklyn. I did have to pay a 10% tariff, so you want to be aware of that. The way things are working right now, when the package arrives in the United States, they will not release it until the tariff is paid. You have to pay the tariff directly to the distributor, but it's actually, even when you consider that 10%, it's still a really good price on something that is unique and handmade. So that's Lansdowne's 1980 Austin Mini Metro 1.0 liter. Beautiful model. I hope you like. I hope you enjoyed the video. But before you go, let me just mention this. I've got the Brooklyn Collector's Guide. This is the original Collector's Guide and the 2 updates. So this is the most current set of guides we have from Gianluigi Cappi. We are giving these away on the Brooklyn and SMTS collective page on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook, search for Brooklyn and SMTS collective, join the page, your instructions on how to do that. And then if you post or comment anytime between now and when the contest is over, you'll be eligible for the drawing. We're going to send these to some lucky winner. And if you know anything about these, you know how hard they are to find, and particularly updates. We have the whole set right here. So I hope to see you on that Facebook page. Thanks for tuning in on the video. I really appreciate it. Channel is doing great. I've got some more stuff to share with you sometime real soon. Thanks for joining me.